Ever wished you could just like unlock hidden knowledge?
Or effortlessly solve problems.
Yeah. Or even tap into some kind of universal consciousness.
Maybe even transcend time and space.
Okay. Now that's getting a little out there, but that's actually kind of what we're diving into today.
With the CIA document called Analysis and Assessment of the Gateway Process.
Now, this sounds like straight-up science fiction.
It does, but this is a real declassified document from 1983, and it takes a deep dive into a technique called the Gateway Experience.
Which was developed by the Monroe Institute.
Exactly.
So is this like some kind of top-secret government program?
Not really. It's more of a technique that uses sound.
Sound.
Yeah, sound. To alter consciousness and to explore different states of awareness.
Okay, that's interesting, but why would the CIA be interested in something like that?
Well, they were exploring its potential for intelligence gathering and other applications.
Okay.
The document suggests that by synchronizing the brain's hemispheres, we might be able to access a vast network of information.
Like a cosmic internet.
Yeah, something like that.
Wow. Okay, so how does this synchronization actually work?
The Gateway Experience uses a technique called Hemi-Sync.
Hemi-Sync.
Yeah. It involves listening to specific sound frequencies through headphones.
So is that like binaural beats?
They share a similar principle.
Okay.
But Hemi-Sync is a bit more intricate.
Okay.
It uses carefully layered sound frequencies to encourage the brain to enter a state of focused coherence.
So like tuning an instrument.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Bringing the brainwaves into harmony.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Okay.
So by tuning our brainwaves, we can potentially access this cosmic internet of information.
That's the idea. The document draws on some really fascinating theories, like the concept of the universe as a giant hologram.
Hold on. A hologram? Like those 3D images?
Exactly.
Whoa.
Think of it this way. If you drop a pebble into a pond, it creates ripples.
All right.
Now imagine freezing those ripples in time.
Okay.
That frozen pattern would hold information about the pebble and its location.
Huh.
The theory suggests the universe works similarly.
Whoa.
Where everything past, present, and future is encoded in this vast interconnected pattern.
So our brains are like receivers, picking up information from this universal hologram.
Precisely. And by altering our brainwave states through techniques like Hemi-Sync, we might be able to tune into different parts of this hologram.
So imagine being able to access information about past events.
Or future possibilities.
Or even gain insights into like the workings of the universe itself.
That's the idea.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So what does the CIA document say about actually experiencing the gateway process?
Well, the document outlines various focus levels.
Focus levels.
Yeah, that a person progresses through.
Okay.
It starts with relaxation.
Okay.
And gradually leads to deeper states of altered consciousness.
Can you give us an example of one of these focus levels?
Sure. Focus 10, for instance, is described as a state where the mind is awake but the body is asleep.
Okay.
Like a deep, restful state that opens up your awareness.
Okay, so it's not just about zoning out. It's about reaching specific states of awareness.
Yeah.
What happens as you go deeper into these focus levels?
Well, in Focus 12, the document suggests you start tapping into expanded awareness.
Expanded awareness.
Like think precognition.
Okay.
Accessing information beyond your physical senses.
Wow.
Really exploring that interconnectedness of everything.
So the universe as a hologram starts to become more than just a theory.
Exactly. And it gets even more interesting.
Yeah.
The document suggests that at a certain point you can click out of time-space.
Click out of time-space.
Meaning your perception transcends our typical understanding of linear time.
That sounds pretty mind-boggling.
Okay.
Can you give us an example of what that might be like?
Imagine the feeling of being completely absorbed in a task where you lose all track of time.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
It's like stepping outside the normal flow of minutes and hours.
I see.
The document suggests that in these advanced focus levels, your consciousness can operate beyond the constraints of time and space.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like those moments when you're so focused that everything else fades away.
Yeah.
But how does this clicking out relate to the idea of the universe as a hologram?
That's where things get really interesting. If the universe is indeed a hologram containing information about all points in time, then clicking out could allow us to access this information directly.
Okay.
Unconstrained by our usual linear perception of time.
That's a pretty profound concept. But if this is all possible, why isn't everyone using the gateway process?
Well, the document highlights some challenges.
Like what?
It takes time and dedication to master these techniques.
So it's not like flipping a switch.
No, it's more like learning a new language.
Okay.
Or a musical instrument. Practice and patience are key.
So it's not a quick fix for accessing hidden knowledge.
Not quite. The document also stresses that individual results can vary,
Okay.
depending on things like your nervous system sensitivity
Okay.
and your prior experience with altered states of consciousness.
So it sounds like a pretty complex and nuanced process.
It is, but I'm curious about the practical side of things.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Did the CIA actually use Gateway for intelligence gathering?
The document itself doesn't go into operational details,
Okay.
but it does outline several potential applications for Gateway,
Like what?
including remote viewing.
Remote viewing. Is that like psychic espionage?
It's similar. The document suggests that by tapping into expanded states of consciousness, individuals might be able to perceive events or locations from a distance.
Imagine being able to gather intelligence from across the globe without ever leaving a room.
Yeah,
That would certainly be a game changer in the world of espionage.
indeed. And it's not just limited to remote viewing.
Oh.
The document also suggests that Gateway could be used for things like problem solving,
Okay.
enhancing creativity, and even exploring past or future events.
Whoa.
It all ties back to the concept of the universe as a hologram where all information is interconnected and accessible.
So the possibilities are pretty mind-boggling if we can learn to tap into this information.
Yeah, it is. We've covered a lot of ground, but I'm curious to hear more about how the Gateway experience is structured.
Yeah, me too. You mentioned focus levels earlier. Can you tell us more about those?
Absolutely. The document outlines a series of focus levels, each representing a different state of consciousness.
Oh?
We've already touched on Focus 10 and Focus 12,
Yeah.
which involve relaxation and expanded awareness.
Yeah.
But there are even deeper levels to explore,
Huh?
each offering unique insights and experiences.
Sounds like we have a lot more to unpack.
We do.
This is definitely a deep dive, and I'm eager to hear more about these deeper focus levels.
We'll delve into those in more detail next time as we continue our exploration of the Gateway process.
Okay, sounds good.
Welcome back.
All right, so we left off talking about these focus levels.
Yeah, these stepping stones to deeper states of awareness.
Right.
And as we delve into the higher levels,
Uh-huh.
the document suggests that we encounter some truly mind-bending concepts.
I'm ready for more mind-bending.
Mm.
What comes after Focus 12?
Focus 15.
Focus 15.
This is where things get particularly interesting.
Okay.
The document describes this state as a no-time state,
A no-time state.
where your perception isn't bound by the usual flow of time that we
Yeah.
experience in everyday life.
So it's like completely transcending our normal experience of time.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
It's like accessing a dimension where past, present, and future
Wow.
aren't separate,
Okay.
but rather interconnected aspects of a unified whole.
Mm.
The document suggests that in this state, you might be able to access information from any point in time
Really?
with equal ease.
That sounds both exhilarating and a little disorienting. Can you give us an analogy to help grasp this concept of a no-time state?
Okay, imagine you're standing on a mountaintop,
Okay.
looking out at a vast landscape.
Yeah.
From your vantage point, you can see the entire panorama.
Okay.
Mountains, valleys, rivers, and forests,
Okay.
all laid out before you.
I see.
It's not that the individual features don't exist,
Yeah.
but rather you're perceiving them from a perspective that encompasses the whole. Okay, Focus 15, as described in the document, is like gaining that mountaintop perspective on time itself.
So it's not that time disappears, but rather we experience it from a broader, more holistic perspective.
Precisely. And this expanded perspective could have profound implications for how we understand and interact with reality.
I can see how that would be of interest to the CIA. The potential for gathering intelligence, anticipating events, and maybe even influencing outcomes would be incredible.
The document certainly hints at those possibilities, but it also emphasizes the importance of using these abilities responsibly and ethically.
Makes sense. It sounds like we're talking about a powerful tool that requires careful consideration and a strong moral compass. But before we get too deep into the ethical implications, I'm curious about the final focus level described in the document, Focus 21.
Okay, Focus 21.
Yeah.
It's the most mysterious
I
and
know.
perhaps the most challenging state to achieve.
Okay.
It's described as a state where you can interact with other energy systems
Other energy systems.
and even potentially other forms of consciousness within the universe.
So we're talking about communication with extraterrestrial beings.
It's not stated explicitly,
Okay.
but the document suggests that the possibilities are vast when it comes to interacting with consciousness beyond our own.
It's a fascinating concept.
Right.
But I'm wondering if these higher focus levels are achievable. Why aren't more people experiencing them?
The document acknowledges that it takes a lot of dedication and practice to reach these advanced states.
So it's not something that happens overnight.
It's not. It's like learning to play a musical instrument or mastering a martial art.
Okay.
It requires patience, discipline, and consistent effort. The document also points out that individual experiences can vary
Okay.
based on factors like your nervous system sensitivity
Okay.
and your prior experience with altered states of consciousness.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
No.
Everyone's journey is going to be unique.
Absolutely. And the document emphasizes the importance of having a qualified guide or mentor to help navigate the process.
That makes sense. It sounds like exploring these deeper levels of consciousness can be quite a journey, both challenging and potentially transformative. But I'm curious about the specific techniques involved. How do people actually reach these different focus levels? Is it all about listening to those Hemi-Sync tapes?
The Hemi-Sync audio technology plays a key role,
Okay.
but it's not the only factor. The document describes a combination of techniques,
Oh.
including visualization, guided meditation, and breathing exercises,
Okay.
all designed to help you enter and maintain specific states of awareness.
I see.
It's almost like learning a new language of consciousness.
Okay.
And the Hemi-Sync tapes act as a kind of translator,
Okay.
helping your brain understand and respond to these subtle frequencies.
So it's a holistic approach that involves both mental and physical practices.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And the document stresses that your intention plays a crucial role as well. You need to actively engage with the process and focus your attention on the desired outcome.
It sounds like it requires a certain level of mental discipline and focus.
It does, but the document also emphasizes the importance of relaxation and letting go of mental effort. It's a delicate balance between actively directing your attention and surrendering to the experience as it unfolds.
So it's a kind of mental dance, finding that sweet spot between focus and surrender.
That's a great way to put it. And as you progress through the different focus levels, you learn to become more attuned to the subtle nuances of your own consciousness.
It sounds like quite a journey of self-discovery.
Yeah.
But I'm also curious about the potential benefits of exploring these altered states of consciousness. What can people actually gain from engaging with the gateway process? Is it purely about accessing information, or is there a deeper purpose?
The document suggests that the benefits extend far beyond just gathering information.
Oh.
It highlights the potential for personal growth, enhanced creativity, and even spiritual exploration. Imagine tapping into a wellspring of inspiration, gaining insights into your own life purpose, or experiencing a profound sense of interconnectedness with the universe.
That's quite a list of potential benefits. It sounds like the gateway process could offer a path to self-discovery and transformation, not just a means to an end. But I'm also wondering about the potential downsides. We've touched on the challenges of mastering the techniques, but are there any other risks or concerns associated with exploring these altered states?
That's an important question. While the document focuses on the potential benefits of the gateway experience, it also acknowledges that there can be challenges along the way.
What kind of challenges?
Well, for one thing, navigating these altered states can be disorienting or even unsettling at times. It's like venturing into uncharted territory, and it's important to be prepared for the unexpected.
So it's not always a smooth, blissful experience.
Not necessarily. The document emphasizes the importance of having a strong grounding in reality and a healthy sense of discernment. It's easy to get carried away with the extraordinary experiences and lose sight of the practical aspects of life.
So it's important to stay grounded and maintain a balanced perspective.
Exactly. The document also cautions against becoming overly reliant on the gateway process or using it as an escape from real-life challenges. It's meant to be a tool for growth and exploration, not a substitute for engaging with the world around us.
That's a good reminder. It sounds like exploring these altered states requires a certain level of maturity and self-awareness.
Yeah.
But even with those precautions, there's always a potential for misinterpreting what we experience in those altered states, right?
Yeah.
How can we be sure that what we're experiencing is real and not just our imagination running wild?
That's a valid concern. The document emphasizes the importance of developing strong discernment and critical thinking skills.
Okay.
When navigating these expanded states of awareness, it's crucial to be able to distinguish between genuine insights and projections of our own desires or fears.
So it's about cultivating a healthy skepticism even when experiencing something extraordinary.
Exactly. And the document encourages individuals to share their experiences with others and to seek guidance from experienced practitioners to help validate and integrate their insights.
It sounds like community and mentorship play a vital role in navigating these uncharted territories of consciousness. But I'm also wondering about the long-term effects of engaging with the gateway process. Does the document address that at all?
While the document doesn't provide specific details about long-term effects, it does highlight the importance of integrating these experiences into our daily lives. It suggests that the true value of exploring altered states of consciousness lies in applying the insights and wisdom we gain to enhance our everyday lives.
So it's not just about having these extraordinary experiences. It's about bringing those experiences back into the world and using them to make a positive impact.
Precisely. The document suggests that by cultivating greater awareness and understanding of ourselves and the universe, we can create a more harmonious and fulfilling life for ourselves and others.
That's a beautiful sentiment. It sounds like the gateway process, when approached with wisdom and discernment, could be a powerful tool for personal and collective transformation.
Mhm.
But before we get too carried away with lofty ideals, I'm curious about the practical side of things. You mentioned that the CIA was interested in using Gateway for intelligence gathering. Do they have any specific protocols or applications in mind?
The document itself doesn't delve into operational details,
Okay.
but it does outline several potential applications for intelligence agencies.
Like what?
For example, it suggests that remote viewing could be used to gather information about sensitive locations,
Oh,
or to monitor the activities of foreign governments.
that sounds like something straight out of a spy movie.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The document also suggests that Gateway could be used to enhance interrogation techniques,
Oh,
potentially by accessing hidden memories or thoughts.
this raises some ethical questions, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. The document acknowledges the potential for misuse and emphasizes the importance of ethical guidelines. It suggests that any applications of the Gateway process should align with principles of human rights and respect for individual autonomy.
That's reassuring to hear.
Mhm.
It sounds like even the CIA recognized the need for ethical boundaries when dealing with such powerful tools.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, if these techniques were so promising, why haven't we heard more about them? Why hasn't the Gateway process become more mainstream?
That's a good question. There are likely several factors at play. For one thing, the techniques involved require significant time and effort to master.
Yeah.
It's not something that can be easily taught or replicated on a large scale.
Right.
And there's also the element of secrecy surrounding the document's origins. It was classified for many years.
Yeah.
And even now, there's still a lot of mystery surrounding the CIA's involvement with the Gateway process.
It's intriguing to think about what other secrets might be hidden within those classified files. But I'm curious to hear more about the mechanics of the Gateway experience itself. We've talked about the different focus levels and the various techniques involved, but I'm wondering if you can give us a more concrete example of what a typical session might look like.
Of course, imagine yourself lying comfortably in a darkened room,
Okay.
wearing headphones.
Okay.
You begin by listening to Hemi-Sync audio designed to guide your brainwaves into a relaxed, receptive state.
Okay.
A soothing voice guides you through a series of breathing exercises and visualizations, helping you to release tension and focus your attention inward.
It sounds incredibly peaceful, like a guided meditation.
Exactly. And as you progress through the session, the audio frequencies and guided visualizations become more intricate, gradually leading you deeper into altered states of awareness. You might experience a sense of floating, a blurring of the boundaries between your body and the surrounding space, or even a feeling of timelessness.
It sounds almost surreal, like stepping into another dimension.
That's a good way to describe it. And as you continue to practice, these experiences become more vivid and profound. You might start to perceive energy fields, access intuitive insights, or even connect with a sense of universal consciousness.
That's incredible. But I'm wondering what happens after the session is over. Do these experiences just fade away, or is there a way to integrate them into everyday life?
That's a crucial aspect of the Gateway process. The document emphasizes the importance of grounding these experiences and applying the insights gained to enhance your daily life. It suggests keeping a journal to record your experiences, reflecting on the insights you've received, and exploring ways to integrate those insights into your actions and interactions with the world.
So it's not just about having these extraordinary experiences in isolation, it's about bringing those experiences back into the world and using them to make a positive difference.
Precisely. The document suggests that by cultivating greater awareness and understanding of ourselves and the universe, we can create a more harmonious and fulfilling life for ourselves and others.
That's a beautiful sentiment. It sounds like the Gateway process has a lot to offer, both in terms of personal growth and exploring the mysteries of consciousness. But before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm wondering if there are any other key takeaways from the document that you'd like to highlight. Anything that stood out to you as particularly significant or thought-provoking?
One thing that struck me is the document's emphasis on the interconnectedness of everything. The concept of the universe as a hologram where all information is encoded and accessible challenges are traditional notions of separation and individuality. It suggests that we are all part of a vast web of consciousness, and our actions and intentions have ripple effects that extend far beyond our immediate sphere of influence.
That's a powerful reminder of our interconnectedness and the importance of acting with awareness and compassion.
Indeed. And it also raises some fascinating questions about the nature of reality itself. If we are all interconnected, what does that mean for our understanding of free will, destiny, and the power of collective consciousness?
Those are profound questions that we may not have definitive answers to, but it's certainly worth pondering these mysteries and exploring the potential of our own consciousness. This deep dive into the gateway process has been incredibly illuminating. We've covered a lot of ground from the mechanics of Hemi-Sync to the concept of clicking out of time-space and the potential for accessing vast realms of information and experiencing profound states of altered consciousness. It's clear that the gateway process offers a fascinating glimpse into the uncharted territories of the mind and the potential for expanding our understanding of reality itself.
It's a journey that invites us to challenge our assumptions, explore our inner depths, and embrace the infinite possibilities of consciousness.
So we've talked about a lot with this gateway process.
Yeah, a lot of really interesting stuff.
But I have to ask, what did the CIA actually want to do with it?
Well, the document outlines several potential applications,
Okay.
mostly focused on intelligence gathering.
Yeah.
And they were really interested in something called remote viewing.
Oh yeah, we touched on that before. It's like the idea that you can perceive distant places or events with your mind.
Right, like mental travel.
Okay, so how would that work in practice?
Well, by achieving a specific state of consciousness, an individual could project their awareness to a target location
Okay.
and then gather information about it.
Okay.
They thought it could be used to observe enemy installations
Wow.
or monitor sensitive activities.
It sounds like something out of a spy movie.
It really does.
But did they actually have any success with it?
Well, the document itself doesn't give specific details about operational successes or failures.
Oh.
It focuses more on the theoretical framework of Gateway
Okay.
and its potential applications.
So whether they had any tangible results with remote viewing is still kind of a mystery.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a fascinating idea,
Yeah,
but I can see why some people might be skeptical.
absolutely. It's not exactly mainstream science.
Yeah. It pushes the boundaries of what we typically consider possible.
And the document actually acknowledges that. It addresses potential criticisms and tries to provide a scientific rationale for the gateway process, drawing on physics, quantum mechanics, and theories of consciousness.
So they were really trying to bridge the gap between these mystical experiences and a more scientific framework.
Exactly. They wanted to ground those experiences in something more rational and understandable.
That's a big challenge for sure. But even if we put the scientific debates aside for now, I'm curious about other practical implications of Gateway.
Okay.
Beyond intelligence gathering, what other applications did they envision?
They looked at a range of things like enhanced creativity, accelerated learning, and even therapeutic healing.
Wow, so like accessing deeper states of consciousness could unlock all sorts of potential?
Yeah, they believed it could tap into hidden reserves of creativity, speed up the learning process,
Okay.
and maybe even promote physical and emotional healing.
That's pretty amazing. But what about the ethical side of all this? We've talked about the potential for misuse.
Right.
But did the document offer any guidelines?
They definitely acknowledge the importance of ethics, especially given how powerful Gateway could be.
Right.
They emphasized responsible use
Okay.
and warned against using it for manipulation or control,
Okay.
but a detailed code of ethics or specific guidelines.
Yeah.
Not so much.
It seems like a big oversight.
I agree. It's like they open this door to a powerful realm without thinking through all the consequences.
It's a good reminder that even with the best intentions, powerful tools can be misused. We need to have those ethical conversations.
Yeah, and not just researchers and practitioners, but society as a whole.
This whole deep dive into the Gateway process has been amazing.
I agree.
You've gone from Hemi-Sync to clicking out of time-space and so much more.
It's mind-blowing.
It really is. And there's still so much to explore about consciousness.
Absolutely.
But it's clear that we need to think carefully about the ethics as we go.
Definitely, responsibility goes hand in hand with exploration.
Well said. This has been an incredible look at the power and potential of human consciousness.
It really pushes us to expand our awareness and think differently about reality.
Thanks for tuning in. This has been The Deep Dive.